All right, guys, we're gonna wait for a couple people to jump on. We're on live. Hey, what up, what up? Spin Cobra, Cop Watch, what's up, brother? Safety man, New Mexico citizen. What's up, guys? We're gonna wait for a couple more people to jump on. Got 10 deep so far, 16 deep. What's up, guys? A little bit longer. A couple more people to jump on, and then we're gonna start chatting. What's up, AZ Desert News? What's up, Asia Drummer? Constitutional Corner, how you doing? Big fan. Saw that video this morning with you on. I've seen that video a ton of times, by the way, but I saw it again this morning with Honor Your Oath. Great job out there. Hey, what's up, Jim? Thank you, man. Appreciate that. From Portugal, what's up? I believe my last name comes from Portugal. I've done some research on my last name, so I might be Portuguese. Also, the red hair kind of explains a little bit. All right, guys. So, I want to give you guys a quick update. We're here with Big Shitty in the house.
What up? What up?
So, Big Shitty in the house here in AZ. Hey, thank you, Constitutional Corner. Much love, much love. All right, so I wanted to give you guys a quick update. So, the Goodyear arrest. So. Just came back. We had a court this morning. We also had just went to visit the PD. So apparently they were able to obtain a warrant. This is all done at the police station because the prosecutor has not pushed that off for our video evidence. We've actually had to push that ourselves so that we can get our video evidence that they confiscated. So the police, it looks like they were able to draft up a warrant. They were able to obtain a warrant according to them, and so hopefully come Monday they're going to be able to release either the device or the video to us. That's what we were just told. So hopefully we're going to have we're going to have that video. No, the prosecutor didn't even file for it. The prosecutor wanted nothing to do with our video. On my case, I have no public defender. I'm defending myself. I'm pro se. On Big Shitty's case, he has a public defender, which is the worst public defender I think I've ever seen. Obviously it doesn't shock anybody, right? Bad public defender. She actually has had the case since June 11th and actually looked at the case for the first time about 10 minutes before court today. So that should tell you how much she's vested in our case or in his case. But so it's a good thing, guys. I don't mind them getting the warrant. I don't mind getting the device. I don't care. My device is clean. I hide. What I want that footage. I want that footage because that footage is going to exonerate us. It's going to show exactly what they reported on us was false. Did nothing of the matter we reported. Everything was lies. So that's going to show that. That's what we want. That's a quick update on our Goodyear case. We also wanted to chat with our audience today. We Big Shitty and I kind of been discussing a little bit about kind of the auditing world right now, kind of where we're at, where we stand, where we sit, and we want to bring everybody into this conversation. Big Shitty's got some feelings he wants to share with everybody, and then we'll go into discussion mode. But Big Shitty, take it away, brother.
Well, I'm just kind of at the point where I think I'm tired of auditing because I'm tired of standing out there like I think I got rights, and I stand out there on my rights, and then they violate my rights, and then there's no justice. We have the option to go to the courthouse, we can file appeals, we can get lawyers, we have all these options, but it's easier said than done because there's no lawyer that helps us out on these cases. You can pay them $20,000. It still doesn't mean that they're going to help you. It just means that they're going to take your money. And the court system is supposed to be our justice. That's where we get our justice. That's where we tell our story. But when they hold the evidence so that we can't tell our story, we can't access the facts of the story, then they're just covering everything up, and it's dirty as hell that the court system, our final step to justice, will be doing that to us. So I've just kind of burned out on auditing because in the end, we don't have any rights anyways. We stand out there like we're tough and they can't touch us, but they touch us, and then what do we do about it? We can't do nothing. We spend the next 3 years fighting a case like we're guilty when we're innocent, and we just lose our money, we lose our lives, we lose our freedoms for it, and I don't see the purpose of doing it, especially when I'm just by myself. I can't really get anybody out there at all. I haven't gotten anybody out there at all, and the help that I can get really isn't the help that I need. People are helpful and they want to help, but really they can't help because it's the system that's in control. And we can't force the system to release the police records. We can bitch and complain all we want, but they're the ones that decide. They're the ones that decide if we have rights or not. And they're protected by all the immunities, they're protected by the judges, they're protected by the prosecutors, and we got our hands tied. And that's where I'm at right now. I just got my hands tied. I can't get any police reports, can't get any evidence. Any evidence that I have is evidence that I've recorded myself. I can't get anything that they've confiscated from it. I'm lucky to have any. But if anybody has any advice, the advice is easier said than done. I need an appeal right now on an order of protection for the Thomas towing assault, and I don't know how to write an appeal. I've tried now, and it's just not working. I need a lawyer, but needing a lawyer is just a...
So I think kind of what stemmed this, guys, was, so you got two guys here, right? Two auditors. We go out there, we film the police. We try to hold them accountable for our rights, right? Like many of us are, out there, auditing. But here's the thing. So we've gone through the motion of getting arrested. We unlawfully arrested, where we believe we did nothing wrong. We got arrested. Went through the whole thing of going through jail. Now we're going through the whole court process. And what we're finding is, how many of you guys out there that are auditing, or even not that are auditing, that are just out cop watching? Maybe you're in the community, you see a cop, you stop, you record it. How many of you guys out there are actually educated on what the next steps are, right? I've educated myself. We've been doing a lot of research. We've been trying to educate ourselves on our First Amendment rights, on constitutional rights, on what we're able to do, what we're not able to do, right? So when we go out there, we're not just doing it just to do it, right? We know how to defend ourselves verbally. But what happens when it goes beyond that? What happens when our defense is not there, where we can verbally not get out of it and we unlawfully get arrested, right? Then we have to go through the motions of the court. Now, here's the thing. I'm not educated in the court system. And, you come to find the realization as you're going through the court system, I'm not educated on how to sue somebody. I'm not as educated, on how the proper court procedures go, because you can go and say you're innocent until your face turns blue and explain what happened till your face turns blue. Right? But the court doesn't work that way. The court has process and procedure that you must follow. And usually when you hire an attorney, the attorney goes through that motion, right? They go through the turning in the motions, presenting all that, right? How do you know that? How do we go through that? How do we learn that, right? Him and I, Big Shitty and I, took a trip yesterday to the law library, right? Find out what information is available, what resources is available to somebody like us, right, that are not educated in the court process. How far did we get after spending 3 hours there? What did we learn?
Yeah, we can do everything we can do at home. They had a Westlaw program, but I couldn't figure out how to read it because it's just another language. We're not trained to read it.
It was a waste of time for us, guys, because it was literally an alien dialect for us,
And then they don't let us document it, so we can't show you how complicated it is.
So, from what we've been talking, guys, we the community, we need to band together, right? A lot of us, we're banding together. There's big groups out there that are banding together in each state, right? We got the Colorado guys, we got the Texas guy, we got the Arizona guy, we got the California guys, we got some New York guys, so all around the world we're banding, right? I think what we need to do is we need to take it a step further, and not just educate ourselves and educate each other and help each other to hold police accountable, to audit, to do, hey, thank you, man, I appreciate that, Goodyear. But in Constitutional Corner, I'm glad you're here because I've watched you for a very long time and you're very educated actually when it comes to this side of the law. So you're somebody I would love to speak to on the side. If you could hit me up, Constitutional Corner, ArizonaAuditor@gmail.com. I'll send you my number so you can call me. I might have some great questions for you. If you want to post your email on here, I can email you as well. I'd love to. Awesome. I'll capture that. But I think you'd really be a big help for us. But I think what we need to do now is, for those of you guys out there, those of you auditors that that are watching, that have gone through this process, that have gone through the court process, whether you've hired a lawyer or had a public defender or represented yourself, I think what we need to start doing as a community, as we're going through this, is really documenting this process and showing everybody what's next. Showing, educating us, everyone, what's next. How do you file an appeal? How do you file a notice of claim? How do you, and it's different in state to state, guys, so it's going to require all of us, right, all the Colorado guys, to get together and really work on something like this. And everybody share their experiences, bring it up, let's educate each other on the next step, the court side of it. Because I feel like such a small fish in such a huge pond, having to deal with this. I'm dealing with a Goodyear case, which is Big Shitty and I'm also dealing with Tolleson, and I don't have a case in Tolleson because I'm not fighting any charges, but obviously my rights were grossly violated. I got doxxed by the cops, and where do I go from here? Where do I move on from here? I hate to sound this uneducated, but that's how I feel about this right now. So that's kind of where Big Shitty and I have been the last 2 days. We've really been going at it, guys. What's next? How do we move on to the next step? How do we grow, and how do we help each other grow? Does everybody care enough about everybody to help each other grow? That's the real question. All right, guys, so I'm going to start reading some of these comments and see what everybody thinks. But everybody, please chime in. How do you feel about this? What do you guys think about moving on to the next step? And not just auditing. I'm not saying stop auditing, but let's start educating each other on what the next step is, if anybody knows what the next step is.
We only got half of the education. We know our rights, but we don't know how to defend our rights. So we need that other half. And I don't know if the entire auditing community is running into the same problem. I don't know if all you guys out there that are video recording are running into the same problem, or if it's just me. Why am I just getting obstructed? Why can't I get police reports? Why can't I get video? I don't know if anybody else is having the same problems.
And that's why it'll vary so much from state to state. Big Shitty can't get any records in South Dakota. Any records at all. He's been denied every step of the way. And he's seen me get records out here, right? You've seen how we get records out here.
How easy it is and how cooperative they are.
Constitutional Corner, you do need a vacation out here. Hell yeah. But see, it varies from state to state. Here in Arizona, there's a few cities that are impeccable. They're great. It's great to get records. They get you records in a couple of days, guys. And there's other agencies like Glendale who will take 6 months for a police report. Goodyear is telling me 6 to 8 months for a video, for a body-worn camera. So, they do these things. I understand they're busy, that they're, but this is part of what we're paying for. What's the point of paying for a service if we're going to be put in the back burner? Then what did I just pay for? Right? Keep increasing the revenue. They keep getting more and more bigger budgets every year, but our services remain as poor as they were, last year. Every year. I just think we're not making enough noise. We need to make more noise. But ultimately, I think it's going to benefit everyone here. If we can find somebody that is educated in these steps, and make an educational video or help auditors understand what is on the other side of this wall, right? When we go out there, I'm ready to be arrested, but I expect not to get arrested because I'm not going out there to break the law. I'm going out there fully lawful, doing a protected activity, a lawful activity that's a First Amendment protected, right? That's my mentality when I go out there. I go do that with that mentality. I would be ready to get arrested, right? And I got to get ready to, go through the mindset of sitting handcuffed in a car for a long time, being handcuffed with your hand. You can't even scratch yourself if it itches. You got to be ready. That's all mindset, right? But what happens after you get released? What happens when you go to court for the first time? What is the first court date about? How do you file a motion? How do you use motion? How do you file? All of these are just strange to a lot of people that are not used to going to court, especially if you've been unlawfully arrested. That's an even worse experience at court than if you actually went out and committed a crime and got caught, right? It's an even more desperate situation because you've not committed a crime and you're sitting in a court that can take your freedom, your liberty away. Awesome. We Justin Putterman. So we got to reach out to Justin Putterman. I think you've reached out to him.
Yeah, I have reached out to him, but he's a Texas guy, so there's so much more to learn in South Dakota, and South Dakota is being so obstructive that he can't answer in just one email. So I need time to really sit down with people for a few hours and explain what's going on, because it's involved so far and so ridiculously to the point that I can't get any records at all. I put in a request with 11 items on this request, and they wouldn't release anything under the same one little code of law that is probably 4 pages long that I'm supposed to read and understand, and it's broke down to 40 different things, and they don't isolate what 40 thing is blocking me from getting this police report. They just say something in this 4 pages says that you can't have it, and that's my excuse. So I can't get any police reports. And I think a lot of the problems with this wall that we're trying to hurdle over is our First Amendment is being blocked out by the court system, and we can't record the problems that we run into. Just like all these auditors, they can go out and they record the problems that they have with the police department, but we can't record the problems we have at the courthouse. So that's why we can't get past this hurdle. We can't educate each other without video recording and sharing it. So it's kind of a system set up against us that we just cannot document it.
See, and constitutional court, so for our case, right? They did provide us discovery. The discovery was weak. We have more stuff than the discovery provided. But here's the thing: the prosecutor does not want to pull our videos. They don't want our videos, right? Which are being held, or it was confiscated, or being held at the police station. They don't want it to be part. We've mentioned it. We've asked for them. They don't want it. So because they're not pulling it, right? It's not part of their discovery. So we need to request it. So we were told today, you need to go to the police station and request it. We went to the police station, obviously knowing we're not going to get it. But we went to the police station. Thank you, Wendy. Went to the police station and requested it, and we're told, well, the prosecutor needs to, put in a request, and we're like, the prosecutor doesn't want it. The prosecutor suggested to us we come here and ask for it. We even took a flash drive, right, just in case. We'll entertain it. But of course, we didn't get very far. We didn't get anything out of it. But they told us, we were able to obtain a warrant. They might be able to get all the information out by Monday. Come next week, you might get your device back, which I don't care. If I get my device back, great. You guys will be watching what actually happened in Goodyear next week. All right, you guys will get to see and be a judge yourself to see if we committed a crime or not, or to see if we trespassed, harassed, and followed, and created a disorderly conduct right? Those are the charges against us. So you guys will get to see firsthand whether that's true or not.
They're the ones actually that should be charged with those things, not us.
Yeah.
They targeted us for filming in public.
So we all know, guys. We all know. I mean, I'm seeing everybody's comments. We all know how corrupt this is. We all know how bad it is, right? We all know how stacked up the odds are against us, right? What are we going to do about it? What are we doing about it?
I'm not okay with it.
We've identified a big problem, and I know we're not the first ones to identify it. We're not creating a wheel here. But I think we're at a point where we need to do something about it. We need to do something. I am gonna email you Constitutional Corner. I've seen a lot of your content. I think you're great. I think you are one of the most educated people when it comes to this side that we're looking for, the law side. And we're looking for people that can help us create content so that we can share and disseminate that with every other person that's going through what we're going through. And every state is we're having auditors arrested every day. There's auditors arrested, and it's not just for auditors, guys. This is for anybody, everybody that goes to court. You know, I'm sure you guys that are watching that don't go out and film the police. You guys have been, you know, at a traffic stop or for whatever reason you've had to go to court, and you know how out of place you feel in a place like that where there's people that have so much power over you that can pretty much, you know, end your freedom, right? You shouldn't have to feel that way, especially if you're innocent. But we should at least know what to expect. We should at least know what the following steps are, what we're doing there is against you, including your public defender. Shouldn't be that way, guys. Shouldn't be that way.
Public defender wants to make a deal. They don't want to get you off. They don't care if you're innocent or not. They'll make you a deal, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. And if you piss them off, then you're worse off than that.
Oh, you shouldn't be muted, bro. If any of my mods muted him, make sure he's unmuted, please. I usually don't kick anybody out of my channel unless you're really go attacking people. I don't accept attacking people personally like that. But if you got something to say, I don't care how outrageous it is, say it. Just don't attack people. Don't be antagonizing towards people. But usually my mods know that they shouldn't just be silencing anyone. Yeah, Goodyear, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I don't see why you would be muted. Let me see. No, it doesn't show me that you're muted. But anyways, guys, we really want to bring this conversation up. I don't think this conversation, you know, should stop here. I'd like to ask everybody out there, you know, start asking yourself, start asking anyone you know, who knows how to go through this process. What is the you know, what is the following step? What is the first step you need to do? What is the, you know, we need to start creating content for us to educate us on it. What's up, Monkey? So if anybody has any ideas, if anybody can help spread this message, and really get everybody working on this. If you have any ideas that you want to submit, hit me up. Send me an email at arizonaauditor@gmail.com. Yes, I did, Lightning. Thank you for the donations. I did see him. I don't know why he's muted. He shouldn't be muted. I hope none of my mods muted him. Yeah. Also, I see that Daddy by Masher. I would like that too, man. Cause Discord, I mean, it's all freaking trolls, right? I don't know. I don't participate in Discord, bro. For the same reason. I don't care what they say, you know, all of them right there. But Ron, tell us how so, man. How are we wrong? What are we missing? Monkey, leave Goodyear alone. What up, Monkey? Now I think Monkey, if Goodyear's cool, bro, leave him, let him be. Around ports. You want to give him a call?
Who?
Says we have Ron here saying that our whole mentality is wrong. And I'd love to hear from you, Ron. I got the number, and let me go ahead and we're gonna give you a call and see what's up, see what your thoughts is, bro. Oh, your speaker sucks, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't.
You don't have the little speaker?
Oh yeah, I do. No, I don't. Not with me. I don't have the speaker. Yeah, my phone is terrible because the cops took my Apple phone, so I've been using this old ass phone here, and it's a piece of junk. Everything I'm trying to do with it is not as good as the Apple, so it pisses me off. So to make a phone call on speakerphone just wouldn't really sound right. It would just kind of irritate us.
All right, so I got that number, Ron. Unfortunately, I can't call you right now during the live stream, bro. But I'm gonna call you afterwards. I'd love to hear from you. I see nothing wrong. If you think that we're doing something wrong or we're seeing things in the wrong light, by all means, bro, I want to hear from you. I want to see what we're doing wrong. all feedback is welcome, as long as you're not just calling just to say, hey, fuck you guys. You know, that's just not, it's not proactive. But if you want to show us a different perspective, a different angle, something we're failing to see, we're missing out on something, we should be looking in this direction, by all means, bro, I want to hear it. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Let's see.
Yeah, we're missing something, because there's some auditors out there that get falsely arrested and then they get paid a month later, $40-some thousand, and I don't understand why those people are still auditing when they're watching all these other people get arrested and they don't have justice. Why don't these people move along and help people find justice? I don't understand what their motive is. It's just to watch everybody else get in trouble and struggle.
Well, here's the thing too. We've had auditors, you know, Fast. I don't know if Fast is in here, but you know, he's been able to successfully sue a city and win, right? So he obviously did something wrong. I mean, something right. I'm sorry. He obviously did something right. He obviously did it, you know, did it in the right fashion. He took the right steps to beat them in their own system, right? So what is it? What did he do right? You know, was it getting a lawyer, getting an attorney? Was it the right thing he did? Getting the right attorney? Did he file the right paperwork? Did his attorney file the right paperwork? You know, what exactly made him successful?
We want that same protection. We don't want to go out there and just get arrested and then just have to get drugged through the system. We want justice.
So he's the guy that I'm looking to watch a video from and educate me on what he did. Now, exactly what he did might not work for me, but it's a great foundation to start and head. It's a path. Now, if my case leads me somewhere else, then it leads me somewhere else. But it's a starting point. And I think right now we feel so lost because the whole system is stacked against us. We're working in an environment that was created, you know, for them against us, right? It's really justice, right? But there is no justice. How many of you guys feel the last time you went to court you received justice?
If you were guilty, you got justice. But if you're innocent, you go to court, you don't get justice. You get drugged through the mud. You get treated like a criminal.
Yeah, I agree. AZ Mountain Royce. I've been trying, man, so much to get an attorney, and even the one attorney that actually looked at some of my cases, they looked at the Tolleson case, for example, and they're like, well, you know, if the cop was showing that, you know, that he thought it was private property, then the court will go, you know, they'll decide on his end because that's what he thought. He's not really doing it maliciously. That's an attorney that's possibly may represent me telling me that, right? And it's like, well, that doesn't make it any more right. Him thinking he's right and being wrong is still makes him wrong. Doesn't make him any more right because he thought he was right.
Because they treat us ignorance for the law as no excuse.
Right. So if I'm speeding and I thought the speed limit was 75 when it was really 50, am I gonna get a break on that ticket because I thought it was 75? No, I'm not. I'm still gonna get the ticket, right? So that's the system we're up against, guys. We're every excuse in the book is allowed to be used on their end, and no excuses is allowed to be used on your end. Because if you don't know it, that's not even an excuse. Because you should have known it. You should have known it. So
we're
that's
expected to be known it to be a lawyer too. If we run into some problems, we're expected to be our own lawyer, and it's impossible to be your own lawyer. Even just for a speeding ticket, you just want to get the video
I see it.
And they don't want to give you the video evidence. What are you supposed to do? They're the ones in control. You can't just force them. You can bug them and bitch you complain. But if they don't want to give it up, they just don't give it up.
Does anybody else see the comments from Goodyear, or is he blocked from everybody? Chinatown. I wouldn't say support, but I respect the man. Number one, he's our president. Whether we like it or not, he's our president. I respect him as that, right? POTUS. But number two, I mean, the man, whether good or bad, has stepped up to the plate and done most of the shit he said he was gonna do. Whether I agree with it or not, he's done most of the shit he said he was gonna do, and he's in that process. If not completed, he's in the process of completing it. So how can you not respect somebody like that? So I respect the man. Support is a different thing, because I don't support some of the decisions he's made. I don't support some of the things that he talks about. I do support some of them. I don't support some I don't support, but I respect the man. So I mean, that's That's as far as I can go with that.
I respect honesty. I don't really follow Trump too much on YouTube too much, watching audits and all that. I don't really care about
Yeah, monkey, leave hair boy near alone.
Yeah, we could use some legal help. I think that's the biggest problem, but even if we find legal help, it doesn't mean they're really going to help us. They might take our money, but nobody cares more than we do.
Yeah, guys, so please start spreading this message. If you guys are on other live feeds, ask the question. You know, ask everybody, ask anybody that's out there recording. If you guys run into a channel, you know, ask, have you ever been arrested? Have you know, what did you do? What is your next steps? You know, for those that are educated on this, please help us build something for us so that we are all in the same page. We want everybody to be as educated as possible. That's the only way that we're gonna stand a chance to fight the system. If we're all ignorant, we don't know what to do, we're all gonna be running with chickens with no head, and they're gonna eat us alive on this end.
They're gonna beat us.
You know, this is where we don't want to lose, guys, because we're fighting for freedom. We don't want to lose. We're fighting for everybody's freedom. But when you get, you know, when you're out there fighting for freedom and, you know, everybody has your back, yeah, let's do it. But then nobody has your back on the other side of it, right? When you have to go to court and you have to fight the charges and you have to prove your innocence, when nobody wants to have your back on that, then, you know, you're not supporting your fighter out there, right? How does that person go back out and keep fighting, right? So that's kind of where we're at, guys. That's the mentality that we have right now. That's what we're, you know, beating our heads against the desk for right now, is trying to educate ourselves, trying to find out people that have gone through this process. What did you do? How did you do it? Were you successful? How were you successful? Did you fail? How did you fail? So that we don't create those mistakes. And again, it's not just educating ourselves. We want everybody to be educated, everybody, because it's in everybody's best interest, right? How do they keep getting so much money out of us? Oh shit, go to court, see what happens to your money, right? That's how they keep getting so much money from us. Well, you didn't make a complete stop. Yes, I did. Well, no, you didn't. So now you're going to leave $250 of your hard-earned money at court because you didn't make a full stop.
Probably
You made
double
a
that if you argue.
California stop.
Yeah, if you argue, then you get double.
Right? So how do they get so much money? Well, because we keep giving it, we keep paying it. A lot of people get a ticket in the mail from a camera and they don't even fight it. They just, oh, they got a picture of it, send my $300. You know, how easy?
Because nobody else does.
How much money did the government have to spend to trick you to just send the money in? You know, when you could have fought it, and the burden of proof, it's on them, so they have to spend money to convict you, which is our money anyways, right? They're gonna spend our money, have an unlimited amount of money that they can tap into, right? So, but a lot of people, they don't fight it, they don't question it, they don't fight the system, and that's why the system can so easily take over and rule us. So, yeah, guys, it's kind of frustrating thinking like this because it makes you think, why?
There's some senior auditors out there that have beaten the system, and I've tried to contact some of them, and it's kind of hard because they don't have a whole lot of time and they're bugged by trolls all the time anyways. And if they don't know you personally, just assume you're a troll. So they don't want to waste their time and hours helping somebody that's just wasting their time. So
YouTube, thank you for that post, man. If you don't mind, man, reach out to me, ArizonaAuditor@gmail.com. I'd love to conversate with you, man, because again, you know, I understand a lot of what you're saying. What I'd like to do is really get a good understanding of the processes and then make something out of that, man. Make something out of where we can all be educated on it, so that, you know, not only I have the knowledge, not only Big Shitty has the knowledge, everybody watching has the knowledge. Because even if you're not recording the cops, when you go to court, you know, you're not always wrongfully accused for recording cops. A lot of people are wrongfully accused of doing any crime, and this will be beneficial for everyone. Exactly. That's what I'm looking for, Tony. I'm looking at, how-to videos. And they don't necessarily have to come from me. I'm willing to put in the time and willing to create the videos, you know, gaining this knowledge. But it's not just about me. I mean, I think everyone out there who has this knowledge can make these videos or can talk to us about it and help us create these videos and then make a series about it, right? So everybody can find them. Everybody should be able to look up this information. Shit, I got arrested. What's next?
I think my problem with the videos that are out there right now is they explain how the system works and when it works properly, but when the system doesn't work properly, somebody is arrested innocently and they don't release the information, the evidence, the police reports, what are we supposed to do then? There is no how-to videos on any of that.
I'm gonna look that up on YouTube. Jurisdictionary.
Jurisdictionary.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. So he say Google Jurisdictionary. It says step-by-step lawsuit processes.
Yeah, but that's another thing that's how it's supposed to work. But when it's not working right, and you do everything right, and then the judge says nope for no reason, just nope. What are you supposed to do then? Because the system is obviously against you. It's not working for you. They know you're innocent and they don't care, and they don't want to expose that you're innocent. So they cover it all up. That's the problems that we're having as an auditing community. We're not having problems getting to our DUI class or whatnot because we were drinking and driving. We were filming in public, First Amendment constitutionally protected activity, and we're treated like we're guilty. And we can't access our evidence.
Yep.
And there's no how-tos for that.
And like I said, guys, you go to court, right? The judge is supposed to be unbiased, but I mean, obviously, if you do something, if you talk out of place, you can be held in contempt and be charged more money, right? The prosecutor is obviously against you. The public defender is either the most clueless person in that room, or they just literally pick somebody out of the street to help you. Somebody that's a lot more, uneducated than you are when it comes to your case. I mean, that's, you stand no chance, guys. Everything is stacked up against it. Even for the simplest things, we were in court. There was another guy in court today, guys. Shout out to that guy. If you're watching, you know who you are, because he's a new sub. But he was in court today, and the prosecutor, so he had a warrant because he failed to appear on the previous court date. So he came in, he talked to the prosecutor, he came to a plea deal, right? Came to an agreement, signed the agreement. You're gonna pay a $300 fine, and that'll be the end of it. They go see the judge. They both sign. They go see the judge. The judge says, "Well, you had a warrant here that you didn't really take care of, which I can charge you with." The guy tells them, "Well, the last time I did come to court, I ended up coming. I skipped it. I ended up coming. I paid a $45 fee because I had that warrant, and I was told I was taken care of." Well, the judge didn't really like the way he was talking, didn't really like the way he had a smirk. So he told him, he asked the prosecutor, why are you dismissing this? If he had a warrant, why are you not adding that charge or a fine to that charge? The prosecutor said, well, he did come in. We don't want to prosecute him for that. We're willing to drop that charge because we think that he's, taking the plea, taking responsibility for his actions. The judge did not want to let it go, even though the prosecutor said we want to drop it. We don't want to prosecute him on the failure to appear. The judge wanted to prosecute on that, and he was adamant about it. And he even told them, if I don't like what I'm hearing, I could prosecute you. I'm gonna let it slide this time, but I could still prosecute you on that. And you have 90 days to appeal it. So that shows us how much power, right, these guys have. If you're not willing to lick their boots, your consequences will be much greater. How's that justice? Guys? That's where we're at right now. I've
never seen a prosecutor cooperate with the defendant like that, and then the judge just would not even listen to the prosecutor. The prosecutor was requesting to dismiss, and he would not dismiss. No sense.
Let's see. So what's going on with Goodyear? So Goodyear, Canute, man, I appreciate you being here. Believe me, there shouldn't be any animosity with anybody. I don't promote that in my channel, man. You're more than welcome here. You're more than welcome to post your comments, man. I appreciate the donations. You know, you're not here because you donate. You're here because you're more than welcome to partake in the conversation, guys. I don't know who has issues with them, but like I said, I mean, if he's gonna partake, just let him partake. The mods, don't time him out, please. Just let him be. But Lucinator, I think you've been here long enough. I see you all the time. I just made you a mod, by the way. So Lucinator, you're a new mod here. Hoynier, man, thanks for joining us, man. You're more than welcome to stay. Like I said, I'm not sure what the problem is, but let's see. Yeah, exactly. PS News. I definitely agree with you on that, man. And the problem is, you guys see that. I mean, we catch that on camera all the time, right? We go and do a cop watch or an audit, and the only violations taking place are done by the cops, right? Blocking traffic, you know, all kinds of vehicle codes, not wearing their seatbelts. So
flashlights in people's face. Can't do that to them. Freak out. Eric Grant had to pay $10,000 bond to get out of jail for a flashlight.
Lacey, that's what I intend to do that, Lacey. I want to do that, but here's the thing. How do I go about that? I'm not educated on that, guys. I really am not. And I've been trying to do some research and educate myself on it, but I've not been very successful, you know, and I'll be honest with you guys, you know, like I said, I've done a lot of, you know, years of research on a lot of the First Amendment stuff, on recording, on what's legal, what's not legal. But at the end of the day, you know, I think it's my fault, right, for educating myself on the next step, which is what happens when you get arrested. What is the next step? Or what happens, how do you defend yourself, first of all, right? How do you get past the defense of being accused of doing something you didn't, right? And number two, how do you come back at them? How do you counterattack, right? How do you sue them? How do you come back and say, hey, you wrongfully accused me, you made me go through this ringer, you made me go through spending, you know, a day in jail and doing all this, you know, unlawfully. You took my my freedom. You took my device, my $1,000 device. You have it. They've had it for a couple months now, you know, and I'm the one that paid for it, right? It's my property, but they get to keep it, right? So how do you defend yourself against all these injustices? That's where we're at. Right? The proper paperwork. All right. See, that's what we need to do, Lacey. Please email me so we can communicate back and forth. If you can help us out with that, if you can help us figure out what is the proper paperwork, how do we obtain that? How do we figure that out?
And then when we do it right, and then we turn it in, and they say no.
And the point of all this is to not only educate ourselves, guys. It's going through these motions. Lacey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And once we do that, once we go through these motions, the whole thing about it is to document it, right? We're not just auditing now the cops. We're also we're actually going to be auditing the process, right? What process do we have to take? What process do we have to do? And were we successful at it or not? And what would you have done different?
The process is really hard to document because they don't allow you to film in the courthouse, and that's where half of the stuff goes down.
Hey, what's up, Phoenix Rising Media? Thanks for being here, man. Yeah, and just for those of you guys that don't know about Big Shitty is out of South Dakota. Big Shitty has a totally different monster to face out there because number one, Big Shitty has no help out there. He's all by himself. There's not many auditors in South Dakota. There's not many people fighting for freedom in South Dakota. So he's one of the only guys that's out there that we know of. You know, if there's other guys out there, please join the fight. Please join Big Shitty out there. Hit us up. You know, because there's so many things going wrong in South Dakota right now that it makes Arizona look great. And you guys know that that's not the case. So if anybody's in that area that can help Big Shitty, Big Shitty's not even allowed to go get public record requests anymore. He's not even allowed in the building. So, you know, he's so lost out there. We need so much help out in South Dakota. But he's fighting with me out here in Arizona too, because he's fighting with the Goodyear against the Goodyear case. So
I came to Arizona to get educated so I could learn something about how to fight my cases in South Dakota, and I got arrested in Arizona. I even told them, okay, I'll leave, I just need a name and badge number, and they still would not let us leave. Arrested us both, and I'm the one that's got to go to jail.
Tony, yeah. So for the Goodyear, the video, it's coming soon. So from what we learned today, it's coming soon, guys. You guys will get to see what happened inside that post office. All we've done is talk about it because we don't have the video evidence, right? It's being held by the police. But according to them, they were able to obtain a warrant, they were able to pull it, and they should be returning our devices very soon, hopefully next week, hopefully. So you guys will actually get to see the actual footage, right? So we're not just talking, you guys will get to see it, of what we're being accused of. We're being charged of 3 things. We're being charged of trespassing. So they're saying in the police report, they're saying that we went through a door in the passport area, not just in the passport area. We went in the passport area and went through a door that led to the mail room that said do not enter on the door. Our video clearly is going to show that we did not, because we did it.
We were standing outside the door looking at the sign, but we never went into that room.
The second charge is harassing and following. Some lady claimed that we were harassing her by filming her, putting the camera on her face, and then following her to her vehicle, which was 10 feet to my right. So moving my camera and pointing it at her, not moving, is not harassing or following her. Big Shitty went around her vehicle, got her license plate number, and came back. That he has every right to do. There's none of that is violating.
On us, so I was documenting that they were calling the cops on us and false reporting.
And then the third one was disorderly conduct. So if I go in there with the camera and somebody doesn't like it and starts yelling at me, who created the disturbance, me or the person yelling at me?
We never cussed. They cussed us.
Right. So we're being charged.
That's another reason why I filmed her license plate number, is because she was cussing at Arizona auditor.
Thank you, AZ Desert News. Thank you, guys. Yes, Big Shitty, guys. Go check out his channel. He has so many issues out there, guys. He needs us a ton of help. But we're both kind of in the same boat right now, where we just need to kind of start over, I guess. I don't know. That's how I feel. I feel like I need to start over, clear my head, step 1, and go from there. And again, the most important part of this is documenting it and creating a documentation that for those of you out there going and experiencing the exact same thing that we are right now, where you're flustered, the frustration, they're so lost, that you can have something where you can actually go and create, a good base to start. This is the starting point, and go from there. I think it's just going to increase everybody's success rate. It's not going to guarantee anybody's success, but it's going to increase success rate for we the people. We need to figure out how to give them less money, right? And it's not just by stop giving them, because that doesn't work. If you guys stop paying your taxes, you're going to find out exactly what happens, right? You're going to get agents at your door, knocking down your door, taking away whatever property you do own to pay for that money you didn't willfully give, right? So that's not the answer. How do we give them less money the right way without them being able to pull it out of our pockets, right? Beat them in court. You don't have to pay them the fine.
Make them tell the truth,
right?
And be honest. That's all I want from my court system. Tell the truth and be honest.
That's a lot to ask for.
I know. I grew up in this country thinking that this is the greatest country and everything's fair and people are equal and there's no racism, there's no sexism, and anybody can get hired depending on their race and religion. And all that sounds good, but none of it is true. All of it is a lie. Everything matters. Everybody that's into authority, they just get something into their head that they're the man. And the more authority they get, the more tyrannical they get. And I hate it. The court system is a prime example. They have total control. They can lie all they want. They can steal all they want. They can order you into a cell. And what are you going to do about it? For a lawyer, it's a lot easier said than done. How many people we got watching?
Tony, we have 63 people on right now. I'm always open to criticism, bro. Always. I kid you not, man. I read 100% of the comments left on my channel. 100%. I've had videos that have over 2,500 comments. So I read every single comment, bro. Don't get me wrong, you know, I don't let comments affect me in a negative manner. Meaning, if you're just saying you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about, you're an idiot, fuck you and your family, your people, whatever. If you're just insulting, I don't care. I take it with a grain of salt. On to the next. If you're telling me, hey man, I agree with what you're doing, but you're doing it wrong. Here's what I would have done, or you should have done this, or hey man, and this I would have said this in this situation. I take that, man, and I try to apply it on my next audit every time, because it's important for me to grow. I'm not perfect. I'm not an expert. But the only way to become an expert is to do it. Make mistakes and learn from mistakes and learn and grow. That's the only way. So I do accept, Tony, just to answer that question, man, I accept all criticism and all feedback, positive and negative. Positive feedback is good. It's great. It makes you feel great. Makes you want to go do it more. But it doesn't help you grow. So it's good and bad, right? Negative feedback, criticism is very healthy if you know how to utilize it, if you actually learn from it and grow. So, you know, by all means, man, speak your mind. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I'm doing right, and let me know what I'm doing wrong, because I will mess up, guys. I'm not perfect. You guys see, you know, heavy accent. Sometimes I've been ragged on for having an accent. It's okay with me. I do have an accent. There's not a lot I can do about it, but you know, I put myself out here for you guys, because I want to, guys, right? I'm here voluntarily. Nobody's forcing me to do these videos. Nobody's forcing me to be out here. But I get to meet great people like this guy. This guy is great people. He has got a great mind that thinks very differently than mine, and can show me things that I'm not looking at, and vice versa. I can show him things that he's possibly not looking at, you know? So, see, like, comments like that, like, look at all these losers. What do you gain from that, bro? What do you help out with that? You know, it makes you look like a loser putting shit like that. You know what I mean?
We're only losing because the system is ganged up against us, and it's not supposed to be like that. Everybody in the chat room knows that the court system is not fair. So to call us a loser because we're losing a losing battle against a system that is stacked up against us, that's not fair. If we're losing because it's our own fault, then I can understand that. Just because they deny us records and make us jump through hoops and they think it's funny.
Hey, fuck off t-shirts. What's up, brother? Yeah, I mean, sometimes, guys, it slips out. I've been here most of my life. I was born 52 feet away from the border in Mexico. I was brought over here since I was a baby. I had no choice, no decision, right? But I've been here my whole life. I went through schooling here my whole life. I went through college. Everything's been here my whole life. My wife is from here. My kids are all here. So this is my home, guys. This is. I wouldn't fight for this unless I consider this worth fighting for, and I do. I've been here my whole life. Everybody I know here. You throw me somewhere in Mexico, and I'm gonna be lost. I speak the language. I can probably, I can order some food, but I'd be lost, guys. I don't know the culture. I don't know, exactly what the laws are. I don't know, none of that, guys. So this is my home. I'm gonna fight for this because this is my home. This is where my kids live, where my kids will grow. And this is their home, and I want to make this a better place for them. Even if it's a little bit improvement, when I die, I want to know. I want to know I did that. I want to know I did that, guys. I made this world just a little bit of a better place for my kids, my family, my friends, for everybody out there. I know a lot of people don't care about other people, and that's okay. That's your opinion. You don't have to care about anybody. But for some of us that do care about other people, I do care about other people. I do care about how I can help my neighbor. I do care about how I can help somebody selfishly, because when you need help, I've been in times where I've needed help and people have been there for me, and I love it. Not expecting anything in return, right? They're not there to do a service for me in exchange for money. They're there to help me because I've helped them in the past selfishly. And that's what I love, guys. That's what I love. That's that feeling that I love to have. that I did something for you, because giving can be as great as getting if you know how to enjoy it. What's up, Noah? Noah's in the house.
What up, Noah?
Absolutely, Noah. You can meet Big Shitty. You guys.
I was hoping to meet you, but I only got a couple days left.
Yeah.
I'm busy with court.
We might come out there and see you, bro. You're not too far. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys listening to our rants and kind of again how we feel. But if everybody can kind of start getting that into your mind, you know, how do we move this movement forward? How do we move this movement to the next step? How do we cover ourselves as a whole, right? Not just educate ourselves on how do we cover ourselves in the street, right? With our verbal judo and defend ourselves, and you know, how do we defend ourselves now in litigation? This is, I guess, where I'm going with that. But thank you guys. Anything else you want to add?
Well, until then, I'm done auditing. I'm just a half an auditor. I only know how to go out there and turn the camera on, but if they arrest me and I didn't break the law, I don't know how to do anything about it. So don't expect me to be out there auditing a whole lot. And anybody else that wants to go out there and video record and they think it's fun, it is fun, it's addictive, but you're going to get thrown in jail and you're not going to know what to do. So if you really want to do this and make a difference, then we need to band together and we need to find some lawyers that want to help us out, because I'm just not going to do this and just look like an idiot out there getting arrested and pushed around. I'm just done with that. I'm a half an auditor. I'm not a senior auditor. If the senior auditors want to help the cause, then you need to step up.
Thank you guys. Lacey, to answer your question, ArizonaAuditor@gmail.com. Tony, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate every one of you guys that took the time to listen to this. Again, to us just kind of ranting and expressing our feelings. But thank you guys. This is definitely by no means over. This is just the beginning, guys. Just the beginning. So we're in the thought process. We're trying to figure things out. Any help that any of you guys can give us, any feedback, anyone that you guys may know that can help us, anyone that may put some input, all is welcome, guys. Please, all is welcome. The reason is because together, guys, we're gonna put this shit together. And it rhymes, so you know that's gotta be true. But we gotta beat this. We gotta beat this system, guys. We gotta change the system from within, you know, from inside out. So let's figure this out together, guys. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys for coming out here and entertaining and keeping us entertained. Thank you guys. You guys have a blessed day. Arizona Auditor checking out, guys.